Just when you thought it was all over, they always come back for more. Nothing truly stays dead forever. The witching hour is upon us, and time is running out. It's a race against the clock and against the undead. This is the Venom of horrors for Corona Fever.
I think I'd come over then.
Okay, but just got to keep a distance. You never know who might have COVID.
Don't be ridiculous.
Based on the 1929 play of the same name, Rope follows two young men at a party. They've just brutally murdered a man.
What?
Nothing, just go with it, nothing.
There, that's much better.
And they now have to maintain the facade that everything is fine, and try to prevent any of the party guests from finding out the truth. It was directed by legendary Alfred Hitchcock, and is considered the movie that really solidified him as a real name in the filmmaking business. The entire movie is set in one confined location, a gimmick now but completely unheard of back then. Probably the first ever movie to have done so. Furthermore, Hitchcock wanted it entirely in one shot. Again, this was 1948, so that was crazy talk. But furthermore, the cameras would only record for a maximum of 10 minutes straight. But Hitchcock used this to his advantage, often recording for those 10 minutes, and then cleverly hiding the cuts by having a close-up of a coat on the camera to pass off the illusion that there was no cut, and it was all completely seamless. Hardly any editing was used at all.
That's rather foolish, isn't it?
The movie gives off the illusion that it's set in real time. However, technically, by this logic, the dinner party only lasts for around 20 minutes. But because the movie was continuously in action, it came out seeming a lot longer than it actually was. Walls on the set had wheels on them, so they were actually able to be quietly moved so the camera could pass around them, and then be replaced when it was ready to be back in the frame. Prop men were constantly rushing behind the camera to move furniture and props around, ready for the camera to return to that part of the set. James Stewart, who's one of the stars, called the experience highly exhausting, claiming the camera had more rehearsing than the actual actors. He said that nobody but Hitchcock actually had the guts to try something that daring, but he felt like it just didn't work. There were also beliefs that there was a homosexual subtext between the two main characters, Brandon and Philip.
What's homosexual mean?
Nothing, mate. Despite this coming out in 1948 when homosexuality was still taboo and completely frowned upon. The play in which this was based on, they were fully homosexual, but in the movie many believe it's merely hinted at. Though John Dall, who played Brandon, was actually gay, and Farley Granger, who played Philip, was bisexual. The movie didn't make a huge impact financially. On a budget of somewhere between $1.5 and $2 million, it only earned... You sure you haven't got COVID?
No.
You're not sure?
You see, I had a test and I came out negative, and he got what I got.
It only earned somewhere between 2.2 and 2.7 million worldwide. Barely a profit, but at the time, reviews were also mixed. However, over the years, it gained recognition as a cult classic and a phenomenal piece of filmmaking.
What's that mean?
Even Hitchcock wasn't a fan of the final film, and neither was James Stewart, who even called himself completely miscast from the very beginning. But of course, the shooting process was a complete nightmare. Due to the excessively long takes, every actor was trying their hardest not to screw up. In one take, the camera dolly actually ran over a cameraman's foot and broke it, but he was literally just gagged to prevent his screams of agony messing up the take, and then removed from the set so they could continue filming. and Change the Channel complained about their experiences.
Curious fellow, but I like him.
There's another take where an actress put a glass down, but she actually missed the table. However, a crew member dove down and managed to catch it so it wouldn't smash on the ground and ruin the scene. Both of these takes actually remained in the final movie.
Crazy idea, if you ask me.
Due to the rights of the film, it was seemingly lost and unavailable for nearly 3 decades, before being left to Hitchcock's daughter Patricia. And they weren't re-released until 1984, 36 years later. But let's just see if it's any good. This is Rope. Douglas Dick. A Dick Hogan.
So mature.
But how dark is this opening? Right off the bat, fade in, and here's a man being strangled to death. And you know, in the original script, the murder wasn't actually going to be shown. This would have been left completely ambiguous, so the entire movie you'd be wondering if they really did commit the murder. And it would heighten the suspense even more, wondering what was inside the trunk and whether or not it actually was a body. I actually really like that idea. I mean, I love this movie, but I think that could have made it even better. That's a really cool idea.
I agree.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't have too much time.
Much like Strangers on a Train, one guy is absolutely horrified at what they've done, while the other is completely casual. Murdered a young man, what a beautiful evening this is. Also, don't most people defecate or urinate themselves so the stench and the smell will actually give them away?
What's this defecate mean?
Poop.
Ew!
David Kentley had his last drink. It should have been ginger ale or even beer. I've always thought it was out of character for David to drink anything as corrupt as whiskey.
You just killed a man! How are you acting so casual?
What did they kill the man? That's so mean.
Oh, well, I don't actually know.
We've killed for the sake of danger and for the sake of killing.
This is probably the weakest part of the movie. The motive. They claim they feel superior and murdered him for that very reason. To prove their superiority. To me, that's just a really lazy way of saying, yeah, we have no idea, just killed him for a laugh.
Do I need a reason?
Then they have champagne. Jesus Christ, this is the calmest murder ever. And Philip also played basically the exact same character in Strangers on a Train. Convinced to murder a person and is now in danger of being charged with murder. I mean, he's very good at it, I'll give him that.
Brandon, how did you feel?
When?
During it?
Loved and satisfied. Oh, you mean during the murder?
I don't know, really. I don't remember feeling very much of anything.
Are we still talking about the murder?
Until his body went limp. And I knew it was over.
I'm still unsure.
You're rude.
This is basically the only scene I can actually see the homosexual subtext. I just didn't get that impression anywhere else in the film. So as people start to arrive for the dinner party, apparently just putting candle holders on top of a trunk means that nobody will suspect a thing and nobody's going to try to open it. Alright, they do end up putting plates and other things on top of it. Suppose that's better. But the cinematography is amazing. I even think this looks visually incredible to today's standards, but for 1948? This is why Hitchcock was one of my favourite directors. He called this a failed experiment. It's genius. He saw a risk and he took it and achieved complete greatness. The fact that it's all continuous all adds to the tension and it's just built perfectly. But considering he's the calm one and trying so hard to hide any shred of evidence, why the hell is he still holding the murder weapon?
We've got to hide it.
Why?
Why?
Yes, why? It's only a piece of rope, Philip, an ordinary household article. Why hide it? It belongs in the kitchen drawer.
As everyone's ordinary household rope goes.
It isn't someone's birthday, is it?
Don't look so worried, Kenneth. It's, really almost the opposite.
Alright, the dialogue is pretty well written and clever. And Brandon is so creepy at how he's so casual and normal after committing a murder. I don't think he's quite on par with the dude from Strangers on a Train, but he's still pretty damn chilling.
These hands will bring you great fame.
And it also says I'm full of crap and psychics aren't real.
Language.
Sorry. But hey, I'll give James Stewart another chance. Let's see if he can pull a different face.
Rupert Cadell, the housemaster at Somerville.
I used to be.
Then you must have taught my son, David.
Well, you flatter me. How do you do?
Hello, John.
Oh, Miss Walker.
How'd you know?
Brandon's spoken of you.
Nope, nothing yet. And I know movie has to movie, but in reality, nobody would ever question a trunk this much.
Why'd they have to do that?
You sure you're COVID-free?
I am COVID-free. I had a test and I came back negative, so you're negative.
Don't touch me! Nearly everyone in this party points it out and shows interest in it and what's inside. Normally nobody would notice or just wouldn't mention it.
Of course, the man I have a passion for is James Mason.
Is he good?
Absolutely terrific.
So attractively sinister. Tall as the bull, you know. Very obstinate.
Really?
But I have a confession to make. Do you know, I think I like Mason as much as Harold Flynn.
I'll take Cary Grant myself.
Oh, so will I. Capricorn, the goatee lips. Divine. So much.
Yes.
Do we really want to hear middle-aged women talk about guys they want to bone?
Here, let me help. White or dark?
A little of both on this for Mrs. Atwater.
What about you?
I don't need it.
How queer.
Don't be so rude.
You tell him. Knuckle touch.
Wait, I touched you.
So they just talk about random stuff, and of course Philip can't keep his cool and begins to crack.
One of the subjects for our dinner table suddenly rebelled. Like Lazarus, he rose.
That's a lie! Philip. There's no word of truth in the whole story. I never strangled a chicken in my life.
He is a terrible criminal!
Alright, you have to calm down now.
Call on our Miss Sashwaite of the Blunt Instrument Department.
What a divine idea.
What did you just say?
Calm down! Stop it! You're gonna lose your voice if you keep on shouting.
But then they even try to defend murder during a discussion. Just listen to this.
Hitler was a paranoid savage. His supermen, all fascist supermen, were brainless murderers. I'd hang any who were left. But then you see, I'd hang them first for being stupid. I'd hang all incompetents and fools anyway. There are far too many in the world.
Then perhaps you should hang me, Brandon, for I confess I'm so stupid I don't know whether you're all serious or not.
Both these guys suck at covering up a murder.
This movie's so boring, where's the blood?
This was back when horror movies didn't need blood and gore.
Boring.
They don't need blood.
It's so boring.
It's scary.
No, it's not scary without blood. You just dropped your phone.
I'll drop you in a minute! Alright, there is a moment where someone jokingly accuses Brandon of murder and he brushes it off and jokingly confesses to leave it mysterious so he looks innocent. Alright, that's pretty clever. But I have to ask, how is a movie that is just a bunch of people talking in a room for the entire film not boring?
It is boring.
It's not boring, it's so scary.
It's not scary without blood, I told you.
I'll be
that.
showing you blood in a minute.
I'll
Don't touch! I wondered this with 12 Angry Men as well. I'm so invested as we learn more about all of these characters, their connections and their backstories.
2 desserts, Mr. Cadell?
One for you, and one for me, my love.
Oh, Mr. C.
Well, the others don't seem to be in the mood for ice cream.
But god damn it, James Stewart, can you change your facial expression? You give the same performance every movie! I think I have anger problems.
Of course you do. You need to go to the anger management class after the pandemic's over.
Although he does interrogate Philip to try to get him to crack, and as the weaker of the two, he starts to get nervous. The acting here is really good, the more panicky he begins to get. He even tries to play the piano whilst getting more and more anxious and agitated, which couldn't have been easy to act out. And the suspense is amazing as the trunk begins to get cleared while Stewart continues to talk to them. Someone even nearly opens it before being stopped. It's so intense. They realise that David, the murder victim, was supposed to be at the party but is late, which is completely out of character, which further adds to their suspicions.
She thinks he may have had an accident. She wants you to call the police.
The police?
Oh, no, Anita, I don't think that's necessary. David's no longer a child.
James Stewart pulled a different face! I knew he had it in him! Well done, James! I'm so proud of you! But he finally leaves. But then he decides to come back because, of course...
Brandon, it's Rupert.
What?
He wants to come up. He says he left a cigarette case here. He wants to come up.
Jesus Christ! Pull yourself together! You are a sorry excuse for a criminal!
He's a good old chap.
He's not a good old chap. He killed a man.
Yeah, but he learned his lesson and now he's a good old chap.
But he pretends to have left his lighter, so now they have to find it. It's so tense, but why don't they just kill him now? I mean, why not? Might as well. But even when he finds the lighter, he still hangs around. Yeah, he's that who lingers and doesn't take the hint and off home.
Language!
I'm sorry! Makes me so mad.
Oh, if you're so mad, I'll show you my madness!
I always hate to leave a party. Especially when the evening has been unusually stimulating. Or strange. Like this evening.
What do you mean, strange?
This guy sucks! Just chill! But to further show just why Hitchcock was so good, Stewart describes just how he would murder someone, and as he narrates the method, the camera lures around the apartment to show it all. It's really creative. But how do these people have these conversations so casually? Who does this? Sir Eric, if you wanted to murder someone and get away with it, how would you kill them?
Show them your videos?
Cat and mouse.
Dude, calm down!
That's a gun, isn't it? That teased my suspicions more than anything else. And to tell you the truth, it really scares me a little.
I'm terribly sorry, Rupert. I don't blame you, but, well, here, you can relax. I have to take it up to the country. There have been several burglaries, and Mother's a bit on edge.
And you know, I'm also American.
You were right, Philip. Those books were tied clumsily.
He's got it. He's got it. He knows. He knows.
All right.
He knows.
Easy. I'll take care of
No, you won't.
Okay, Brandon, I'm sorry, bro, but you picked the absolute worst person ever to commit a crime with. You'd be better off murdering someone with Randall from Recess. I love how Stewart isn't even surprised to find out that two of his friends murdered another one. Nah, just a couple of murderers in our group. But it is awesome as he has to slowly check the trunk to prove his suspicions right. It is so intense.
Oh, no.
It's my Razzie!
What's a wazzy?
Oh, it's just an award I got for Dark Knight Stumbles.
By what right did you dare decide that that boy in there was inferior and therefore could be killed? Did you think you were God, Brandon? Is that what you thought when you choked the life out of him?
It's a different face!
Is that what you thought when you served food from his grave? Well, I don't know what you thought or what you are, but I know what you've done. You've murdered!
He can act! He's changing his face!
He need to chill, mate. I think you need to go to bed. You're overexcited.
You've strangled the life out of a fellow human being who could live and love as you never could.
Oh my god, he can act, Eric! He can actually act! James Stewart has the power!
Chill down, right? Go to bed!
So he fires out the window and then they all just casually chill and wait for the cops to show up. What? They don't even try to fight or run for it or anything! It is quite an ominous and eerie ending though, and I love this movie so much.
There's no blood!
It was daring, and it paid off. The concept is brilliant, but the story really complemented the style well. The cinematic concept was slow, which helped build the tension and kept you confined with the characters. It's scary, chilling, and it's just an eerie story. Definitely one of Hitchcock's finest.
What are you doing?
We watched the movie.
It was a harmless film. There wasn't blood or anything.
30 people murdered another guy and stuffed in a box.
He's wording it wrong.
What? Why are you showing our son something so horrible? Eric, come with me.
No, it was a harmless fit. What? Oh.
Disgusting behaviour, Robert.
Well, at least I've still got my health. I'm getting a bit hot. I might need help. What? Oh, son of a...